What you're watching here is my gameplay of the demo version of Goner on Steam. No longer available, I'm afraid, though for good reason, as you'll see. Goner was a semi-open world first-person survival game that had you surviving a prehistoric forest chock-a-block with ferocious extinct predators. And it was fun for what it was, a small slice of gameplay, but it's safe to say it looks a little bit outdated now in 2024. That's no big surprise, the footage you're watching was recorded all the way back in March of 2021, 3 years ago now. Still, I was looking forward to Goner for a long time, and then it went quiet. They released their demo version and then all contact and all social media posts kinda ceased for the last 3 years, and Goner was basically forgotten. I'm so sorry. In the meantime, the likes of Instinction, Deathground, and The Lost Wilds have popped up to fill that upcoming dinosaur game void, and of course now Jurassic Park Survival, and it felt like Goner was going to be yet another dinosaur survival game doomed to go extinct. That is, until February 27th of this year, 1 month ago today. On that day, the official Goner account retweeted a message from Tate Multimedia, an indie Polish publisher with a handful of biking games to the name and something called KO the Kangaroo? I don't know. They've got 2 upcoming games though, and one of those is Goner, which also debuted a brand new lead artwork showcasing everything the game was known for. Survival gear in the foreground, Aztec-style buildings and lush forests in the background, pterosaurs soaring overhead. They've been busy for the last 3 years, because it seems like the game has essentially been remade from the ground up, this time in Unreal Engine 5, and over the last month they've been steadily posting screenshots of the new look for the game, and that's what we're going to check out for the rest of this video. We've got handcrafted axes wielded in bloodied hands, with what looks to be a placeable backpack literally containing the materials your character has accrued so far. Pretty interesting twist on survival games if that's the case. In another shot, it looks like the player character has heated their knife blade on a campfire so that they can cauterize a new cut they've accrued on their arm. Again, pretty cool, immersive, survival kind of stuff here. But of course, we're here with the dinosaurs, and there are dinosaurs as well. A small ceratopsid, Psittacosaurus maybe, given the lack of crest, drinks at the edge of a rippling pond. Player bow in hand, ready to strike. Does this sound overly dramatic? It looks overly dramatic in my script anyway. A dromaeosaurid of some form, coated in dark crimson feathers, standing atop a much larger, vanquished ceratopsid, with huge bloody gouges torn out of its body. The game clearly isn't going to shy away from some realistic gore effects based on this one. Pachycephalosaurus also makes an appearance, 2 of them rounding on a spear-wielding player. All the dinosaurs look really well rendered to me and seem to be taking at least a moderately paleo-accurate approach. And it also seems like the herbivores won't just be prey animals here, but maybe something you'll have to fear in their own right along with the predators. It isn't just dinosaurs, however. A couple of crocodiliforms slink their way through the reeds. Borealosuchus? Maybe there's no species or genera mentioned on the pages. The one closest to the camera looks to me to potentially be a juvenile, given the very different head shape and the lack of weight compared to the one in the distance. I don't want to put too much weight on that in case I'm wrong, but that would be a very exciting addition to making a more naturalistic feeling world. Finally then, we've got this singular clip showing off a few things. I apologise about the quality, it had to be blown up from teeny tiny quality. There's a small, what looks to be mammalian animal darting into hiding in the foreground. And if you look to the right of the middle, that to me looks potentially like an ankylosaurin of some description. The hulking figure in the distance is a little bit harder to place. It kind of looks like a giant bowling pin. At first I thought maybe it's a Carnotaurus or something else that just had a slightly odd angle, but it doesn't seem to be moving, and the shape is truly odd. Maybe it's an artifact, maybe it's something we're going to uncover and discover in these jungles. Either way, more than any of that, what this really showcases is the stunning, even at this low quality, the stunning lighting afforded to us by the move to Unreal Engine 5. If the game can render in real time looking this good as we play it, we're going to be in for a very atmospheric survival experience. Imagine crawling through that jungle with dinosaurs hunting you from the side. It would be very cool. Now that's everything visual we've got from Goner so far, but very recently there was also a development diary that expands on the gameplay aspects, and well, this is how they described the game themselves. Goner is not just a survival game. It's an immersive experience of survival in a hostile environment with day and night cycle systems that redefines the survival genre. As a survivor, you'll navigate the dangers of the island, facing environmental threats and prehistoric fauna, but beware, you're not on top of the food chain here. The island holds mysteries, and once extinct creatures like dinosaurs roam freely on this land. You'll need to adapt, learn, and overcome the challenges to stay alive. You can expect an incredibly diverse island made with Unreal Engine 5 technology, a dynamic weather system, detailed dinosaur models, and advanced AI of these prehistoric predators that interact with you, each other, and with other animals inhabiting the mysterious island. Further on, there's a little talk of raptors that communicate with each other and learn new behaviours, using mud to hide your scent, and even poisonous flora, which is an interesting idea. There's less mention of the story aspects, but it is briefly there. There's mysteries to uncover on the island, but I think it may turn out to be less of a focus than it was in the previous iteration of the game. The goal does seem to still be to escape alive from the island, so maybe there will be an end game in mind for that. Regardless, this Unreal Engine 5 reboot does look really promising. Now, there's no release date quite yet, but with the support and funding of an actual publisher behind them, developers, local players may just have a winner on their hands here. We'll keep an eye on Goner as it continues to develop, but surely, at least one of these really promising dinosaur survival games has to make it to release. Right? What do you think of the new version of Goner? Are you excited, or is it a little bit too early to hype up at this point in time? If it's the former, you can wishlist the game on Steam right now and follow them on Twitter, I'm not calling it goddamn X, at the links down below. Let me know either way in the comment section, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time, even you less than lovely folks. Although I'm sure that's none of you viewers at home, right? You're all the good ones, right? Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.